If you're heading for Rheimdall, you'll be needing to pass through the Wayward Woods. It gets pretty nippy on the other side of the forest, so make sure you wrap up warm before you head off, eh? Honestly speaking, I think the only one of us who's actually prepared for the cold might be Adele. But you know what? Screw it, right? Let's just go on. Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Bravely Default 2. Last time, we revisited Savalon and met up with Annie Hall, seeing how she's doing. We took care of a few problems surrounding the area, along with some nasty beasties, took care of them, and got to learn a little bit more about Annie Hall and her connection with Bernard. It was pretty nice. Pretty short and sweet little journey. But this time, we've wrapped up everything we need to do. We're not going into Wayward Woods. Instead, we're going to be heading over to the Wayward Woods, finally, right? And see if we can make our way to Rheimdall. We've heard a lot about this place and how not to get lost. Let's hope we don't.
This must be the Wayward Woods.
Yep. So stick to the path, okay? If you don't, we'll never find our way out. People have been losing their way in here for as long as anyone can remember. And none of them ever made it home.
Have you been here before, Adele?
Oh, maybe once or twice on my way to Rheimdall.
You have visited Rheimdall, too?
A while back, yeah. Anyway, we need to get moving. Stick together, everyone, and try not to get lost.
Yes, ma'am. Alright, off we go. We are now in the Wayward Woods. Of course, we gotta party chat first. Far to go. Water and Savalon, trees and Wiswald. I wonder what we'll be dealing with next. You sound almost excited. Don't tell me you enjoy seeing all those calamities up close. What, you'd rather we tippy-toed up to them, all scared-like? I'm just trying to gin up for whatever's next, honestly. So, we're headed to a place called Rheimdall, right? Yes, it is a land legendary for its year-round snows. I hope it won't be too cold. Wow, we really are seeing the world, huh? Come on, Seth, this is just a continent. There's still plenty of stuff to see, I'm sure. But our work is still only half done. There are 2 crystals yet to be recovered. We have some way to go yet. Sure, but there's no point in putting too much pressure on ourselves, right? He's right, Gloria. That's not going to help anyone. You have to take the weight off your shoulders from time to time, even if you do have pals on the hand to help you carry it. I suppose so. Perhaps I could afford to be a little less hard on myself. And lean on all of you a little bit more from time to time as well. I would not have been able to make it this far without your help, after all. The 2 crystals we have recovered are ours thanks to you all. I'm in your debt. No need to be so formal, Gloria. We're with you until the other 2 are ours as well. Yeah, it's nice to see Gloria kind of warm up a little bit. We've seen her be pretty stern before, but, you know, maybe the brighter side of her is going to warm up to us. Enemies spawned in, now that we're in here. Let's go ahead and see what we're up against. I don't think I have anything too crazy to worry about. Devil's Snare. That just makes me think of Harry Potter. Magnifying Glass. 2,000 HP. Okay, they're pretty tanky. Weak to lightning, swords, and bows. If I was still on Ranger, this would be pretty done and dusted. Wow, actually, hang on. Their HP varies wildly. This is something that I haven't really talked about, but every single enemy has an HP variant. So you can see on the far right, one of them is almost 1,500 HP, while the one on the far left has 2,086. There is a pretty big gap there. It's pretty impressive. There we go. Though they all still die to 2 level slashes. Get that nice underdog bonus. Heal ourselves up. Let's move forward. Melodies. Chosen hero Seth. I'm assuming that is setting up for a Melodies nuts joke. If not, I made it. It is mine now. No one can take it.
Guess it's my turn.
We've got a Fresh Fond. I guess we can examine them and then do more level slashes. 1,500 HP for that one. We Fire Winds. I believe that was Sword and Daggers.
That was a piece of cake.
I don't know if I'm going to max out any job while exploring the Wayward Woods. I am definitely at a very comfortable level for this dungeon that I don't think I'm going to have to worry about anything. Stupid sandworm blocking our way. Oh, my apologies. The toxic worm is blocking our way. Let's see what it's all about. 2,500 HP, weak to water, light, bows, and spears. Let's go ahead and take advantage of that, I think. Let's see if a Mercy Smash a few times is enough to take it down. Nothing to write home about that encounter. Moving on up gives us something. Ooh, kind of cut my leg on the branch right here. Alright. Also, the aesthetic of the Wayward Woods. There's all the dead trees and the fog. Very imposing, especially if you aren't super over-leveled or whatnot. I mean, the enemies are still chasing me, which means I'm at the level I'm supposed to be. This place can be pretty imposing. And I completely forgot I'm supposed to have Divining Rod on so I can actually navigate this place. Let's go to the right here. I saw that there was a treasure chest, and there it is. Of course, knowing my luck, it's always going to be a stupid, nasty surprise. Ooh, they can activate Daub. We haven't gotten around to showcasing Pictomancer lately, so I haven't really been able to go into that ability in detail, or at least to utilize it in our favor. Trust me, we'll get to Pictomancer here, hopefully very, very soon. Ancient Bow. Okay. A bow whose origins may be lost in the mists of time, but which is still highly effective today. It has an additional effect of potentially activating paralysis. That's good. I lose a little bit of magic defense compared to the Angel's Bow, but this is insane. It looks, yeah, I mean, it looks ancient. It's got all the ancient markings on it and everything. It's pretty cool. The special effect of being able to activate paralysis is very nice. Very, very, very nice. Okay, so we got a teleport pad. Lots of toxic worms just kind of hanging out here. I don't like that. Let's go to the top right, I think? Ooh, okay. As long as we follow the baseball diamond of holiness, as I think I've begun calling it, we should be relatively okay. This makes me think that the gold baseball diamond might be an Adele trick, but we've had it since the beginning of the game, so I doubt that. Moving on through, there is another treasure chest for us here, somewhere, and that is a very conspicuous looking tree. I think I'm gonna poke it.
Here I go.
Hello, Ermin's Soul. Okay, let's take a look at you. 5,000 HP, weak to fire, swords, and axes. Huh. Okay. Was not expecting that. Are you immune to water? No. Perfect. Let's go ahead and defend the people. And let's start messing around with this new bow of ours. See if we can get a paralyze going. Didn't look like it. Okay. That's fine, though. Wait around. Stonega. Thankfully, Elvis absorbs that, thanks to all of the gear he's wearing. Very, very nice.
What's the plan?
Let's start seeing if we can do some Mercy Smashes. 1, 2, and then 937 HP. We should be able to wrap that up with, like, a crosscut or two. Perfect. That's still pretty damaging. It's about 800, 900 damage total with each cut. That's pretty decent. Not, like, boss-killing worthy, in my opinion, but, you know, I've worked with less. So this one, there's a lot of forks here in the road. So I'm curious to know what I'm supposed to do. I'm just gonna follow my own advice and go with the baseball. I like how I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop calling it the baseball diamond, and yet I have still continued to call it the baseball diamond, because I think it's funny. If we go up here, this, I'm assuming, leads to a treasure chest. Let's just avoid the worm for right now. Hinderlance. I feel like that would hinder me. A lance favored by shock troopers looking to intimidate their enemies into inaction. Well, hindering actually works in this case, then. Additional effect is slow. That's not too bad. I'll keep that in mind whenever I'm utilizing spears. I mean, I guess I could put that in Glory if I really wanted to. I lose out on extra physical attack, and really the only benefit would be 1 point of speed, but even then that's not really that great. Holy cow, okay. I know I have to deviate from the path at some point. I think it's here? Okay, back where we got the self-portrait, if we ignore the baseball diamond and go down here... This should lead us to another area with a treasure chest. Yes. 2 medium JP orbs. Perfect. And then in this fork in the road here, if we decide to go straight, this is past the tree, by the way. If we decide to go straight, I believe this leads to another chest. Yes, it does. This area can be quite confusing. We get a tactician's hat for this. Let's check that out. This is right here. Actually, I passed it. Magic-enhancing military headwear, as worn by officers, gives us silence immunity. Pretty decent. Might put that on a caster, like a headband and whatnot. If she just had a little bit more weight, because the headband that she has on right now is not very good, like at all. So we'll have to work around that. Eventually, I mean, Red Mage doesn't have that great weight stats, so it's not too surprising. And then finally, back in this big open area that we ended off on, where we can go and pass this sandworm to get to the northernmost exit. If we go into the middle here and go to the very bottom right of the map, which should be this one, I think. Yes, we get to another treasure chest. This should be the last one, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, you'll see a cut here somewhere where I will talk about it. This gives us another academy gown, pretty decent stuff. I think that is going to be... No, it is not, actually. Gloria is falling behind in gear then, I guess. I could slot the Justicore on her, but the academy gown gives her earth resistance, so I think we'll pass on that for right now. Either way, now with all the treasure acquired, at least hopefully so, I backtracked too far, I think. Get through that, move up here. And that, gets us to fighting a plant.
Everyone okay?
I don't know about that, Seth. Adele's smiling through the pain. She's been silenced, blinded, and poisoned. I don't think she's having a good time there, buddy. Thankfully, we can cleanse that in just one easy cast and make our way out of the Wayward Woods.
Well, we don't see you around here often. To what do we owe the pleasure?
I'm here to report on the experiment in Wiswald. It was a great success.
You mean your little dalliance with the dead?
The very same. Now I must leave. Farewell. But wait, there is something I've been wanting to ask you.
Go on.
Why did you give me that asterisk? Why did you make me attack Musa?
Because it helped the Lord Commander, of course. Why? Do you have a problem with that?
No. But there's something I want you to understand. I only do what I want to do. I hope that's clear. Now I must be leaving.
Never mind, villains doing villain stuff. Seems like there was more to the whole Wiswald fiasco than met the eye. Yeah, welcome to Rheimdall, or at least the outskirts of Rheimdall. Yeah, they weren't kidding when they said it snows all year round. It is frickin' chilly out here. We also have a big map to explore, as we can see here in our travel log. Rheimdall is a big chunk of this country. Also, I just want to go ahead and let you listen to the music while I run around for a little bit. Now, I know it's just another rendition of the overworld theme, though I will admit this is probably my personal favorite one, and I have a bit of a story tied to it. Now, it relies on me admitting something that as a avid fan of Bravely content probably shouldn't be admitting, but I'm going to do it anyways. So, when the first demo came out for Bravely Default, it got data mined, and people were able to find unfinished soundtracks of later areas of the game, including various versions of the Overworld song. And I remember hearing a very, very unfinished version of this Overworld rendition, and hearing I don't really know exactly what type of music I'd be explaining, but it sounded very out of this world, I guess, which is probably a decent way of explaining it. But I originally assumed that it sounded very outer spacey. And I started to theorize that we would be going to, like, the moon, or traveling through space when I heard this song, and this would be the overall music for it. And I very quickly realized that was probably not going to be the case, and I just needed to wait to hear what the full song sounded like. And honestly, it wasn't too different. I'm sure you could probably still find the unreleased version of this song somewhere, but it made me very, very excited to figure out, like, what locations we'd be going to. So this song has a bit of a unique feeling for me. Yeah, I did not get as much JP in that dungeon as I expected. I mean, I didn't go out of my way to fight everything, but, you know, I was still working on it.
Here I go.
We have a bunch of new enemies here. My hope is that I don't have to spend too much time fighting them. We had a Duskwizzy here. I'm assuming we're just going to rip and tear through them. 1800 HP. Yeah, enemies are starting to get a bit tankier and have counters. And since we're, you know, paired up with Vanguard, we're not going to be able to land every hit because our aim stat is very terrible. Speaking of, Seth got a level 8 Vanguard right there. Perfect. So yeah, we might start to see fights get a bit tougher, but who knows. Hey, Truff!
Truff! Good to see you, buddy. Did you find the friend you were looking for?
No. Truff gave up on his plan.
Gave up? What's all this? You were on a noble quest to reunite the man who saved your life with his beloved ring, were you not?
Oh, the ring. Yes. You can have it.
What?
Really, Truff? You've given up on finding your friend after all you've been through?
Truff still wants to find his friend. Wants to say thank you for all he did.
Well then, what's stopping you?
Truff isn't allowed. Truff finally tracked his friend down. Came all the way to the cold village where he'd heard that cooking man lives. But the people there were frightened of Truff. Chased him away. So Truff had to give up.
Really? That seems like an awful shame.
Oh, Truff tried very, very hard. But humans don't like him. Humans are scared of him. As soon as Truff appears, they run away and scream and shout. Truff doesn't like it. Doesn't like to see the frightened people. And so Truff will not go near the humans' village again. Please, take Truff's ring.
I'd hate to see the poor guy like this. Hey, why don't we go find his chef friend? Mitch, was it? If they're as close as Truff says they are, he'll want to know about this for sure.
Good idea, Del. Human's Best Friend Part 3. Truff found the village where his friend lives, but they chased Truff away. Now we can't give his friend the ring, so you can have it. Find Mitch the chef. I can finally stop my my Truff impression, though, you know, it'll be sad to hear that stop. Let's go find this friend of his. Welcome to, if the saving will leave, Inderno. This is a small little town that has its own fast travel tied to it, where we can see what is definitely not a throne room. So my analogy is 2 for 4. It's 50-50 right now. Okay. Either way, let's go into this room here where the red baseball diamond is.
Excuse me? Are you Mitch?
That I am? That I am, my friend. What business, may I ask, might you have with myself?
Do you recognize this ring?
Why, of course I do. 'Tis the very one I lost, so it is indeed.
Great. So you're the traveling chef Truff told us about.
Truff? You're acquainted with me old pal, are you? Oh, that's wonderful altogether. And how's the old feller getting on?
Not too great, actually.
So he's off near town somewhere there, is he?
Aye, and he'll not be coming closer any time soon by the sound of it.
If what you tell me's true, it seems so indeed. You'll not very well let a monster waltz into Inderno uninvited. And the same goes for any other town. Which is why, with a heavy heart, of course, I had to tell him he couldn't come with me on my travels back when he asked. I'd only have been bringing a world of pain upon the poor fella. Saddening as it is, humankind's not ready for that sort of thing just yet.
Yes. Prejudices are hard things to rid people of. He may be a lovely monster, but the simple fact of his being one would be too much for some.
More's the pity, aye. But I'm forgetting myself. You're awfully kind to have come all this way to tell me of the poor lad's troubles, so you are indeed. I'd best be off and see if I can find him.
You're gonna go speak with him?
Sure, of course I am. Come on now, let's away.
Trying to deal with racism was not on my bingo card for today's video, but you know what? I'm down for it. You could always use with bridging the tides between two people. Let's go see if we can find Truff. That wasn't too difficult.
Hey, Truff, old pal!
Mitch! 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 Has Mitch come to see Truff?
If I've told you once, I've told you 10,000 times. We're friends! And if a man hears a friend's nearby, why, he's honor bound to go and seek him out, is he not?
Mitch! Oh, Mitch!
So, I hear you came to give me my old ring back.
Yes, Mitch's golden, shiny, lost shiny ring. And Truff wanted to thank Mitch too. To see him once again and thank him for all he did.
Oh, I remember how I lost it now. I popped it off there when I was showing you a culinary trick or two, did I not? You're a generous fella coming all this way to reunite me with it, so you are indeed.
Huh? No, Mitch!
Are you all right?
Ah, sure, I'm fine altogether. But what about poor Truff?
What? No! Truff! Hey, Truff! Are you okay under there? I can hear him.
Truff is all right. Truff is alive. Just. But Truff can't move rocks from down here.
Don't worry. We'll get you out of there.
We will? But how? There's no way we can move a rock that size, even with all of us.
Remember what Truff taught you. Use the knack, but on the rock. Truff believes in you.
Our sword is strong enough to cut grass, it's strong enough to cut down trees, and it's strong enough to cut boulders into tiny little pieces.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Truff was caught in a space between two rocks. If he hadn't, he would have been...
Ah, never mind that. Let's go and get you seen to, shall we? Are you able to walk, old pal? I'm taking you back to Inderno for a spot of recuperation.
But Mitch, the humans there, they...
Don't you worry yourself about that lot. You are with me now. They'll not be chasing you away this time if I've anything to do with it. You're a pal of mine, Truff. And not just that, You're the only fella in the whole world who truly understands the subtleties of my culinary creations. So, why don't you let me teach you how to make a thing or two? Starting with your old favorite, schnitzel.
Really? Mitch will really teach Truff how to cook? Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Without the help of his human friends, Truff would never have found Mitch again. And now Truff believes again. Believes that not all humans hate him. Truff's gratitude is huge, enormous.
Oh, we didn't do a whole lot, really, Truff. Not nearly as much as you did. Plucking up the courage to set out and find Mitch in the first place. Well, Mitch, I guess we'll be leaving Truff in your capable hands.
That you will, and thanks again. Be careful out on the road there, won't you?
I think Truff's going to be all right now. Don't you?
Yeah. With Mitch to help him, he'll be just fine.
Of course he will. How could the people of Inderno not welcome such a pair? I do so love a happy ending.
Me too, Gloria, me too. But this makes me question, did Truff spend the entirety while we were in Wiswald just navigating the Wayward Woods and keep getting lost? Took him a while and... Oh, hello! It seems like we just caught up to him whenever he got booted out of Inderno, which makes me think that he spent that entire chapter in the Wayward Woods. I feel bad for the guy, but he got his happy ending. I'm glad for him. Truff and Mitch. I'm glad Truff was able to find his friend. Me too. Mitch is a nice guy, huh? He really is. Something about him makes me feel, I don't know, happy. Perhaps if more humans were like Mitch, Truff would not have had such a hard time. Sadly, that's not quite the case. Well, people are always going to be scared of things they're not familiar with, right? It's only natural. But with a good friend by your side, you can overcome anything, eh? Yeah, all it takes is a little time to get used to things, and an open mind. And if Truff gets to be as good a cook as Mitch, that won't hurt either. Aye, there's nothing like sitting down to eat together, and to make folks forget their prejudices. Speaking of which, I'm starving. Me too. How about it, guys? Good break? Yes, we can toast to the future success of Truff and Mitch's endeavors while we eat. I think that's a good idea. Let's head back to Inderno, see how they're doing, and probably see if we can't hitch up a few beds in their inn. Speaking of, we've reached a new inn. Figure out where that is. Right over here. I count 2 beds. You thought I'd forget about this thing, huh? I mean, it'll be a tight squeeze. As long as Elvis doesn't kick Seth out of his bed, I'm sure they'd be able to fit. I have no issue. I don't see a problem with the girls being able to share a bed. Or maybe they'll just make Seth and Elvis sleep outside. Who knows? Or on the roof. I mean, there's a fire right there. I'm getting way too caught up on this. Okay, well, let's go ahead and talk around a little bit. Looking to put your feet up after a long trudge through the snow, eh? Well, you've come to the right place. Sure, we're not that much in the way of amenities, but you'll never worry about breaking any laws. That's what comes with not being part of any kingdom. Oh, we're in a place where I can commit murder and not get away with it? Oh, I'll keep that in mind. Either way, how you called there, mister? No, my joints are frozen. I'm not to never get cold, never ever. Aren't that amazing? Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm more of a cold person than I am a warm person. I prefer Stately Island. I prefer the cold compared to the warm. That's why I like fall and winter way better. So, you know, I think I'd vibe with Inderno. Out of all of the cities we've been to, Inderno is so far the first place I could call this place home. Folks are still a wee bit frightened of your man Truff, but they've agreed to let him stay as long as I keep an eye on him. Sure, they'll all get used to the idea soon enough. After all, he's a good lad. He'll be feeling all right at home in no time. That's good to hear. Truff is so happy that he has found his friend. Now Truff would like to make many more human friends. Mitch is teaching Truff how to make tasty, tasty schnitzels. One day, Truff will make one for you, and we can all have a delicious meal together. That's good to hear, Truff. And, I mean, this ends the story of Truff. He was kind of our tutorial guy, which kind of means that we have no more tutorials to really worry about. the whole boulder smashing tutorial, that really won't come in handy all too often. So we don't need to worry about that too much, but you know what? It's nice to have it. Either way, we've made it here to Inderno, this is a nice little break on our journey to Rheimdall, at least. So, next time on Bravely Default 2, I'm going to be grabbing that treasure chest over there. I can see in the distance. And then we have a side quest here, actually. I think we'll go ahead and check out what's going on here in this little town. Hopefully nothing illegal. Well, I guess we'll see. So, with that said, I'll see you soon.